We begin today with the college football playoff rankings. There is no surprise at the top with Georgia and Michigan 1-2. TCU moved up to 3. USC moved up to 4. Ohio State slid to 5. But at 5, Mike, Ohio State can move up if one of the teams above them loses this week. So, Wilbon, which team of the top 4 is most likely to lose?
Well, Tony, we've seen USC lose to Utah. That's the one loss they have. And we've seen TCU be way behind in a game against Kansas State, which people out there, coaches, scouts, they think Kansas State is pretty good. I've been hearing people say, hey, Kansas State can and may beat them. So I've heard that. None of them are going to lose. All 4 of the teams are going to win. 1 through 4 will win. USC will take its vengeance against Utah for its only loss. So it's a nice supposition, Tone. It ain't going to happen. Ohio State, Alabama, I know, look, if they both lose, you get Ohio State and Alabama back in the mix, and it looks like the last 40 years of the playoff. Not going to happen. Those 4 teams know what's at stake. SC not going to lose to Utah, and the Horned Frogs are going to take care of Kansas State.
It's unbelievable. You just reject the entire construct of the show. We worked for hours to put a question together, and you say, well, nobody's going to lose.
Sabotage.
It isn't even who's going to lose. It's who's most likely to lose. So I'll play the game correctly.
Okay.
All right? Even if Michigan and Georgia lose, they're not falling out of the top 4. Their seasons have been too good. They've won all their big games.
Okay.
I actually believe the team most likely to lose, if one loses, is TCU, for exactly what you said. The first time they played Kansas State, they were down, I think, 28-10, something like that, and they ended up collapsing Kansas State, and they lost 38-28.
Behind
Kansas State. But I also think even if TCU loses and they become a one-loss team, I think they stay in the top 4. So the only team with jeopardy to me is USC. Because of this, if USC loses to Utah, not only do they have 2 losses, but they have 2 losses to Utah. So you can't put them in the Final 4. Yeah, you can't do it. You got to put Utah in at that point. So that's how Ohio State moves up. But you bring up an interesting name. And the interesting name is Alabama. Ohio State, as you're fond of saying, got drilled at home. In the most important game on its schedule. Alabama has 2 losses, but they're both on the road by 3 and by 1.
Last play.
You know,
come on.
You know,
I mean, Ohio State got drilled by the team up north. Down south. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear from Ohio State. If I had to bet, okay, you like to bet and do point spreads and all that gambler stuff.
I do.
If you had to bet and one of your 19 houses in D.C. was on the line, would you bet on Alabama or Ohio State to win a game? Right now.
I would bet on Alabama.
Of course you would.
I'd bet on Alabama.
So would I.
Yeah. And by the way, if anybody wants to buy one of my 19 houses, just call me.
That's good.
Let me know. Make me an offer.
I'll give you a 1-800 number when we're done. It could tie right into his gambling touts.